Welcome to the From Burnout to Recovery show with your host, Dr. Kate. This is where your journey to burnout recovery starts. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like work has become unmanageable? Join me and my guests for open and honest conversations about burnout recovery from the comfort of the front porch. I am here to help you build your resilience and prepare you for burnout in a whole new way through a variety of perspectives. Move past the idea that burnout can only be addressed by avoidance and work to integrate recovery into your daily life. Relax, take a breath. The From Burnout to Recovery show starts now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the From Burnout to Recovery show with Dr. Kate on Transformation Talk Radio and sponsored by Lift Wellness Consulting, where our mission is to support professionals in ending the burnout cycle so that they can live happier, healthier lives. I'm your host, Dr. Kate, and as always, I'm excited to welcome you to the show today. Remember, as you are enjoying the show, to hit that subscribe button and leave a 5-star review. Today, we are going to be joined by our guest, Bruce Sanchez. Bruce is an international Psych K facilitator, high performance coach, NLP and mindfulness master practitioner, former correctional officer, and member of the Special Operations Group prison in Melbourne, and former international Krav Maga instructor, Black Belt 3 DAN. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Hello, this is my pleasure. I'm super pumped, super excited to be here with you. Thank you.
Well, I am so excited to have you. So to get us started, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your experience with burnout and your journey to recovery.
Oh, well, probably my first experience with burnout was like a bit long ago, right? I would say 20 years ago when I was struggling with addictions, but that moment, that's what I call my first biggest transformation in my life. That I was almost like experiencing it wasn't an OD, but it's very, very, very close. But that event, bam, sparked something here. It's like a wake up call. And I said, no, mate, this is enough for me. And then I went to recovery in Spain. I wasn't in Spain at that time because, my background is from Spain, Spanish family. And I went through a group therapy for 18 months. We were once, twice a week with other people. It was amazing. Yeah. That was my first connection or interaction with kind of personal development, therapy, counseling, everything. Amazing. And then the last one I will say was just before COVID in Australia, just before. That was when I was diagnosed with PTSD and experiencing panic attacks at work. When I was working in the prison at that time, conducting prisoners count. Boom, first panic attack. First in my life. That was not long ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That must have been a really interesting experience to have that panic attack, especially working in that type of setting.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I still remember that day as was yesterday, right? Because I was with a colleague conducting prisoners count. It wasn't a public holiday. So it was a pretty calm and normal day. No one was around me. Yeah. All prisoners were in the cells. So nothing triggered. Actually, nothing triggered that. And I was conducting with my, clipboard and, marking off, yes, it's inside. And out of blue, I started feeling dizzy and started shaking my body and I couldn't even breathe. And I said, oh God, what is this? I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So I just made up something to my colleague. I need to go to the toilet because I think I ate something. I'm feeling unwell. Just run to the toilet. I didn't want me to say anyone like me, especially prisoners. It could be a dangerous situation, no? Like a guard is having a panic attack. It's not a safe place to be to have a panic attack, right?
Right.
But I went to the toilet and I was on my own and just putting some water on my face. And then it went much, much, much worse. I thought I was having a heart attack. I don't know what a heart attack looked like, but I think this is a heart attack. I don't know what else can be, right? Yeah, that was pretty scary experience. And then somehow I just closed my eyes and started cool down, deep breaths and stuff, and gone. Mm. And then for the next 2 days, I was, what? I couldn't explain.
Yeah.
Because how the heck I was gonna think I was having a panic attack? Me, look, a black belt in Krav Maga, self-defense from Israel. I was a member of the special operations group in the prisons in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. Super fit, and it's like panic attack. Me, yes, it was that.
Yeah,
it was that.
How did you come about to identify that was what was happening for you?
Well, after several times, I went at least 2-3 times hospital, because that was the first time. And then it happened again mm-hmm. 2 days later at home when I woke up, 5 a.m., something in the morning, I was sleeping. Boom, another panic attack. Mm-hmm. That one, I was at home with my wife, was much, much worse than the first one. And I said, no, this is something serious. Let's go to the hospital. I went a couple of times, some blood tests, and they couldn't find anything. Went to my GP. They started to talk about stress. How's I said, because I didn't feel anything. I mean, I didn't feel that I was too stressed. I didn't feel it, So I couldn't see it. So then I got referred to a psychologist in Melbourne, in a place. She said, was a very beautiful person, mm-hmm. and she had experience with correctional officers, police officers, and all of that. And then after 2 minutes talking to her, you need stress leave or work cover is what we call it in Australia, because you have stress. Yeah. You need to go psychiatrist. Well, in 2 minutes, she knew it, and I said, "Wow, really?" Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, That is, I think the most interesting part about that is that you weren't experiencing or I had identified the stress that was really in your life. And I'm sure there are listeners that connect to that right now that are like, oh yeah, I've been there, all of a sudden out of the blue, this panic or this anxiety or this stress really just surfaced, but I wasn't feeling it leading up to that.
Yes, and because what's normally when you go to a doctor, when you have stress or anxiety, they tell you do exercise, do this. I was doing everything. I mean, all the boxes were ticked. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It gets you.
Yeah.
It gets you. When it's gonna hit you or get you, it will. No matter what you're doing, no matter how old you are, your background, your whatever, it doesn't matter. Get to you and boom. But I'm going to say this, for me, that was another blessing, because then I identified it again, because that made what I did on those months, I think I was around 4 or 5 months, out of work, stress leave. But for me, it was going backwards again and redesign everything again in my life, because I was now connecting dots, because when you are busy, you work here and training, you all the time, I'm too busy to take time for myself, right? And coaching was something that I wanted to do more professional for years, but I was, I'll have a look later. And postponing. Subconsciously, now because I'm working more with the subconscious mind, my subconsciously I knew that something wasn't right or, or something was a little wrong. So that's why my interest in going to coaching, exploring NLP and all that stuff, because I knew that would be great, which it will. And for me, those months being at home, I was studying, researching, and I remember having my appointments with my psychologist, Lisa. And every time we have an appointment, we talk each other was twice a month or at most 3 times a month, every 10 days. She was busy too. I remember she always told me, mate, with persons like you or with people like you, I wouldn't have a job. Don't get me wrong. She told me, because you are exactly a role model patient. Every time we speak, you are like a 3 or 4 months ahead myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was researching and doing this, doing meditation. I told her, look, Lisa, I'm not going to wait for you for 10 days and you're going to tell me what to do and then wait for another 10 days until no, this is not me. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity for me. I'm gonna find whatever I need to not just to recover, but also heal from here, from this, and learn from this. And now, like how I see my life now is completely transformed. Not just recovered, transformed. Which for me it's amazing, you know.
Yeah. What are some of those aspects in your life now and how you're living that help continue to create that transformation?
Oh, well, many times, like, for example, time for myself or, that time off, like a real time off. Away from this, away from everything, And look, not long ago, I decided to quit my job as a correctional officer. We left Melbourne, we left Australia not long ago. I'm talking February this year. We came to Colombia now, where my wife is from. We are in our own house. I'm a psyche facilitator right now. I'm building my own business now. I feel like a full-time for real. I mean, no BS. It's not like just a bit. No, just real. It's really hard.
Yes.
Well,
It creates its own kind of stress. Absolutely.
But look, because it's me. It's me. What my wife supports me like 100%, 1,000%. Like next level. She is always with me. So I'm lucky. I know not everybody has that. Thing like your partner supports you more than 100%. So, and now life, I'm just, the thing when we came here to Colombia is like, we don't want to have a plan. We have a little plans, but our plan is we don't have plans, right? Yeah. You build your business. We're here at home. We enjoy life. And that's it. That's it. We have everything. We have a roof. We have, because we are in a big area, in a big land. And my wife's family are here. We have cattle, we have trees, we have papayas, we have everything here. We are almost, we grow our own food almost, What else?
Yeah. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
But it wasn't easy for me to make that decision. I'm going to say something. It might not be popular, but the restrictions we went through last year, especially in Melbourne, because remember, Melbourne was the longest or the most lockdown city in the world. Yeah. That for me was another wake-up call. It's like, because I couldn't believe it. What I was witnessing. I mean, I was working in prisons. I was, working while many people couldn't work, Yeah. I've seen the frustration with the officers, and then some other officers quitting the jobs, joining the protests on the streets. It was a very conflicting times in Melbourne. And for me, it was too, because I didn't agree with the policies. I didn't agree with the restrictions. I think that was completely overreached. And that created another little bit stress too. Right? Sure. Not same as 2 years ago. But for me, it was a little pushed again. It was a little catalyst. It's like, do we really want to be here in a place that we feeling we're living in 1984? No way. No way. We don't need, I mean, it doesn't matter. Call Australia, Canada, or US. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the country. The country can support you or have some things that can support you in a way. But at the end of the day, you create your own reality. You know what I mean? You don't need a country just to live better than in Spain, for example. And then we say, let's go to Colombia. Let's go home. Let's connect for everything. We have the option. Let's take it. Right?
Yeah. What a neat, to be able to take that opportunity and to recognize, okay, this isn't the healthy place for me any longer. It's not a good fit. But we can go someplace that is going to be a better fit for the reality that we want to create for ourselves. Yeah. Are there anything that you do kind of in your day to day that helps you just kind of, maintain that balance, or help you like recognize stress when it's coming up again for you?
Yes. I work with myself with Psyche. What I'm doing is it's a belief and perception changing at the subconscious level of the mind, subconscious mind. And I work with myself. I like constantly. We do. I don't know if you know this modality, but we're doing the way that I connect with my subconscious mind is through muscle testing, like kinesiology, and then it's pretty interesting, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing in energetic work. It's energy psychology, was what it's called, Psyche. And then also I do my meditations. I do my exercise like every morning. I maintain those routines that for me are very important, not just to reduce the stress level, but also to maintain your body. It's like going to a mechanic, and not only where your car is break down, but you go every now and then, so you maintain your body, like because this is your vehicle.
Absolutely.
Like it or not, this is our vehicle. We need to take care of it. Right?
Yes, we absolutely do.
And thinking about doing this stuff and actually doing it for me means a lot, because first of all, I take seriously myself. Which most of the people, we don't take serious ourselves. We say we're gonna do something, we're gonna whatever, and we don't. And that's a kind of message that is getting to your mind that is like, who are you gonna lie? You're not gonna lie to me. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. That's your mind telling you, right? And for me, be serious with myself and I don't need to do like a lot of stuff, but the stuff I say I'm gonna do it. Obviously, something might happen, in between. Yeah. But for me, keeping my routine, doing my exercise, doing my psyche work, my energetic work, having my network, and just enjoying every single moment. Like now, like this with you, Kate. This is for me now. The world doesn't exist right now, just you and I. So that's the way that I'm living right now. Yeah. And for me, it's been like a huge difference, huge. Because I'm not overthinking about tomorrow or next week or next month. That's very stressful. It's like, oh my God, and then what am I going to do? That kills me. Yeah. That kills me.
Such an important, there's a couple of messages in there that you had. I mean, that piece of when you make a commitment to yourself, honoring that commitment and following through on that. So essentially you're not lying to yourself in that aspect. And your brain's not like, why do you continue to lie to me and say you're going to do something and then you don't? And then that piece of just the focus on the present moment and what you're doing in that moment, and not getting wrapped up in what happened in the past or thinking too much about the future, but really just living in that moment, and how that can help us really ease stress is so important. So I'm really thankful that you brought both of those things up. If you were to give one additional piece of advice to our listeners, what would that be?
Yes. Well, it's something that I've been saying lately with friends and family and other people in social media. It's like your health right now, same as your money, your job, your everything. It's just a result of the choices you've made in your life, the things you've done, the things you didn't do. All right. It's all a result. It can be changed at any time. Any freaking time can be changed, because as above, so below. As within, so without. That's it. That's my message. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes. That anything in our lives that is the result of the choices that we have made, and we can change that in any moment. And so important for us to keep in mind that the authority that we have in our own lives to be able to create that change is so incredibly important. Bruce, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
No, thank you for inviting me. And look, I'm so happy to have this time with you. Like I said, the time now doesn't exist right now until we finish. So I'm enjoying like a child. I'm like a kid right now.
I love it. Thank you. And it's been a beautiful conversation. I am so thankful to our guest, Bruce Sanchez, for joining us today to talk a little bit about his journey in burnout recovery and how that came about through recognition through his panic attack and his life now, and the ability to make choices and change our direction and change our results through those choices, I think is an incredibly important piece. We are going to move into our recovery moment now. And this is a guided meditation to create an ocean mind. So let's get started. Before we move into our recovery moment, just a reminder to do so when you are in a safe space and able to focus on your recovery and this guided reflection. And if that's not you right now, give this a listen and come back to us when you can. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to be sure to subscribe to the show, leave us a 5-star review if you're enjoying things. And while you're at it, go ahead and share this with a friend or 2 or 3 that need to also hear this message. So let's go ahead and move into our guided reflection and meditation to create an ocean mind. First, let your eyes be open. Focus on the middle of the room where you are, and then notice how you can let your attention go to the far wall from where you are sitting. If you are lying flat, you can let your attention go to the ceiling, and then notice how you can let your attention come back to the center of the room. And then your intention can come about book reading distance, as if you're reading a book in your hands. And you may notice that you determine where your attention goes. And now, if you'd like, you can let your eyes close and just let your attention go inward. And we'll focus on the sensations of the breath. And you can let your attention go to wherever the breath comes most naturally to you. For some people, it's the sensations of the air, the level of the nostrils, with that gentle feeling coming in and out as the air passes in and out at the nostrils. For others, they naturally feel the breath at the level of the chest, with the rising and falling of the chest, with each half breath in and out. And still, others feel the breath most naturally at the level of the abdomen, and that when the diaphragm underneath the lungs is pulling down and bringing air into the lungs, as you are breathing in, the abdomen actually moves upward, moves out. And then when the air is released from the lungs, as you breathe out, the abdomen actually moves inward, sensing the abdominals movements in and out. So let's take a few moments now and just let your awareness ride the wave of the breath, wherever you feel it most naturally. Your nostrils, your chest, your abdominal movement. And for some people, it is even just the whole body breathing, whatever comes naturally for you. And just let your attention ride the wave of your breathing. As you are sensing your breath in and out, I'm going to tell you an ancient story that's been passed through generations about the mind being like the ocean, where deep in the ocean beneath the surface is calm and clear. And from that deep place in the ocean, you can look upward toward the surface. And at the surface, no matter what the conditions are, whether it's flat or choppy or even a full storm, no matter what those conditions are, deep in the ocean is calm and clear. And just sensing the breath allows you to go the depth of the ocean of your mind, where from this deep, tranquil place, you can look upward at the waves at the surface, the brain waves that are the activities of your mind, that from this deep place in your mind, you can just notice the thinking or feeling or perceiving, all those feelings that are just there at the surface, and notice them as being activities that come and go in and out of awareness like ripples on a pond. And just sensing your breath brings you back to this tranquil place in the depth of your mind. So let's take a few moments right now to just sense your breath. And when an activity of the mind brings your attention to it, like a thought, a feeling, a memory, a sensation, then lovingly and gently, you can take note of that mental activity and redirect the attention of your breath. For some people, it's helpful just to make a gentle mental note. So if there's a thought, you can gently say in your mind, thinking, or if there's a sensation, you can just say gently, sensing. And then let your attention return to the breath, to this depth of your mind where you can just sense and observe the activities of the mind as just that, just activities, and not the totality of who you are. So let's take the time now and just sense your breath. And when you come to notice that your mind is no longer focusing on the breath, lovingly and gently take note of that and return your attention to your breathing. In just a moment, we'll bring this exercise to a close and just let yourself enjoy the deep tranquility that comes from sensing the breath, knowing that just focusing your mind on your breathing brings you to this deep place of calm and clarity. Now, when you are ready, you can let your eyes open, and we'll continue to be aware of our presence and our mindful awareness. Dear audience members, remember, for more recovery moments, you can follow me at Dr. Kate Steiner on Instagram, and be sure to subscribe to the From Burnout to Recovery show on YouTube. I'm so grateful to our guest, Bruce Sanchez, and I'm grateful to each of you for listening. Thank you for joining us on the From Burnout to Recovery show with Dr. Kate on Transformation Talk Radio, sponsored by Lift Wellness Consulting. I'm Dr. Kate, and I wish you peace on your journey. Thank you for joining me on the front porch today. Remember that you can download your free guide to how to recover from burnout in 2 hours a week on my website, drkatesteiner.com. And as always, be well, my friends. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Kate, on the From Burnout to Recovery show, where you are starting your journey to burnout recovery. You are invited to join me on the front porch every second and fourth Friday of the month on transformationtalkradio.com to continue growing in resilience and integrating recovery into your daily life. If you would like to learn more or find out how to work with me, visit liftwellnessconsulting.com.